Welcome back, everybody. It's funny. I was gonna make this video on about marriage because as of May 18th, been married for 2 years now, which has been such a blessing. And it's funny. I literally had just done a whole video about 8 minutes long and about marriage and about things that I've learned in the short 2 years of marriage that I've had. But funny thing is that I actually have a mic hooked up to my phone, and it's I guess I accidentally muted it I guess I touched the mute button while I was recording. So I'm actually gonna make this video about failure, and because I think it's kind of fitting. Because it was kind of a fail, you know. So really, I just had in mind how to actually take failure, you know, like. Because we experience so much failure in our lives, you know, and just thinking about it, it's such a blessing that we do fail, because from all the failures that we experience, some may be harder than others and more impactful in your life, you know, and it may be a very frustrating thing, a sad or upsetting thing. But really, we got to look at these failures as blessings because, you know, first of all, failure humbles us. It humbles us extremely, like so much. I was just humbled a lot, you know, and we don't like to be humbled, but by God's grace, we are humbled every day, and it's such a blessing. So I just like to look at failures as an opportunity to be humbled, and also just an opportunity to learn from your failure. You know, I think it's a blessing that we do fail. Because then we can look on our past failures and say, oh, okay, well, here's where I screwed up. So next time that I do this thing, I'm not going to make that same step that screwed me over, you know, that caused me to fail. So failures are actually a blessing in disguise, you know, because failure, it's such a bad word, you know, but really they're kind of a blessing if you think about it. Obviously, certain failures, like I said, are really hard and very difficult, and sometimes you just don't really know how to take them at that moment. But for myself, I can look back and just be like, oh yeah, that was a blessing. That was actually a blessing that I did fail in that area of my life, because now I can improve and I know how not to fail. And also, you can look at other people's failures, which is, I'd say, the wiser thing to do is look to another man's failure and don't make his same mistakes, right? That's what I'd say what a wise man would do, is looking at other people's mistakes and learning from their mistakes and not making those same mistakes. And my biggest failure, I think, would be I failed my Red Seal exam. It was pretty unfortunate. It was about, I don't know, I think I took it in March. I think the beginning of March or the end of March. I failed. It sucked. It really did suck. I came out of that exam. A lot of us, I think, I'll say about 70% of us, maybe I have this wrong, but a lot of us thought coming out of that exam, we're like, oh wow, not even sure if I passed. And that's how a lot of us felt. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of those guys that felt the same way that I did, they probably failed as well. I just remember during our C of Q prep week, the teachers were like, yeah, it's a very low passing rate. I think it was like 60% fail or something like that. I might have that wrong. If you actually know the percentage, let me know. That'd be amazing to know that. An opportunity to be humbled, you know. But yeah, just thinking about that and how I took that. It was crappy, you know. But now I have more time to actually study and get more prepared. Not that I wasn't prepared. I didn't think I wasn't prepared for the exam. I think it was more so just being nervous. I was nervous for the exam, and also just a time constraint. I think just knowing that I only had 4 hours, even though 4 hours is a lot of time, still that was stressful to me. The time restraint really affected the way that I did the exam, I think. And yeah, I think I finished the exam 5 minutes before the 4 hours was up. And it's crazy. I think the last 5 questions, or yeah, that I was actually stuck on, I just guessed them. I was like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Because, man, I had no idea. I was like, I had no clue. I didn't know what the heck I was doing at that point. When the guy announced that there was an hour left, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, stress was insane. Like my stomach just it just shrunk, like it felt like somebody took a vacuum and put it in my mouth, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't breathe, I was like, oh man. And honestly, I'm not really a guy that does very well on exams. I'd say I'm way better at actually doing the task rather than going and writing an exam. That for me, I don't know why. It's just I find it's quite a stressful experience. I don't know why. And I know that a lot of the guys doing carpentry, they're the same or they're worse than I am. Like, really. And I don't say this to their shame. Like, they're way better carpenters than I am, but they just suck. They suck at doing exams. And I think that's part of it's kind of how they get you, a little bit, because your first attempt at the Red Seal it's free. You can do it for free. But then after that, you have to pay $150 to do your exam. So I'm going to have to pay $150, and Lord willing, I will actually pass this time. I'm giving myself another month or two. I'm actually going to, because honestly, I've been saying that I was going to prep, but I haven't done any prep whatsoever. So I want to actually give myself a couple months. Cars are loud. Give myself a couple months and actually study up, make sure that I'm on point as much as I can be for the exam, and take it again. Because obviously I've worked this hard, did 3 years or so of schooling, 4-year apprenticeship. I'm not just going to flush it down the drain, I'm not just going to let that opportunity pass me by. I'm actually going to study again, and I'm going to take it again. And even if I fail again, I'm going to do it again, because I am not I will not have my Red Seal. I am going to get my Red Seal. Absolutely. There's no way. Nobody can stop me from getting my Red Seal unless somebody were to kill me. I mean, that's literally the only means by which I will not get my Red Seal. Yeah, I'm very determined to it. Yeah, and I know the next time that I take it, I will be able to actually get, I think you can get up to 6 hours, which, yeah, that seems kind of crazy, almost a full day's work of just doing an exam. But really, I think I need it. Genuinely, I need that time. I need that extra time. Then, because I didn't even go to the washroom. I didn't drink water, I don't think. I literally just stayed put, just writing the exam. And that was it. Because I wanted to have enough time. Because I was nervous and I was just worried that I wouldn't have enough time. And literally the last 5 minutes that I got out, the last 5 questions, I just guessed them because I had no clue. So I think having an hour extra at least will help me out a lot. I failed by, I think it was 5 points or 4 points. 5 or 4 points. That's how much I failed by. I mean, at least it wasn't 1 point though. If I failed by 1 point, I think I'd be pretty pissed off if I failed by 1 point. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what's your biggest failure and how did you take it? I'd be curious to know. And I mean, I guess I haven't really gotten into how I took it. Just once I found out, I was waiting for the results. I had to wait for 3 weeks to get my results. And once I finally got them, I opened the email, and I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised that I failed, because of the way that I felt when I came out of the exam room. I was just I didn't feel it, when you just have that gut feeling, you're like, yeah, I didn't do too well. And I was right. I did not pass. So seeing that email, I wasn't surprised. I felt bad, but it was you know what? I'm not going to be mad or sad about it. I failed, but I can still take it again. And I mean, yeah, some people might think, oh, well, yeah, you failed, bro, so you suck. But it's like, I've really been starting to think now more recently, it's just, I genuinely do not care what anybody thinks about me. Like, I could care less, you know? And that's just it. No matter how many times I have to take my Red Seal exam to actually pass, I'll do it. Even if I have to spend like however many dollars on it, $1,000. I don't care. I'm gonna get my Red Seal exam. You know? Maybe you might think that's crazy, but I don't care. You know? But yeah, it was crappy, but just been positive about it. I mean, really, it doesn't affect my pay. It doesn't, well, I mean, it would affect my pay. I mean, in theory, I would get an increase, which I already got an increase for my pay. But the only thing within residential carpentry, like, the only thing that you're getting is just you're getting that paper, you know, you're getting it. And you're like, oh, yes, I have this. But besides that, I mean, I myself right now, with my current knowledge, I could go off and do whatever the heck I want and make more than a Red Seal. If I, like, you know, if I do things properly as they should be done, I could make way more than any Red Seal, especially union carpenters. I could make so much more than they do. And, you know, so it's not like it's necessary to have my Red Seal, but I want it. You know, I've worked this hard, so I'm going to get it. Yeah, but took it pretty well, I think. But yeah, you know, failures in life, we just gotta be positive about them. We gotta be able to look back at them and just say, yeah, thank you, God, for that failure. You know, an opportunity to be humbled and also an opportunity to grow, right? And yeah, so honestly, if you could be praying for me that, that I would pass the exam, that I wouldn't be stressed because I am going to study. I think it's kind of silly for... Oh man, speaking of failure, you know, yeah, the video ended on me. It died. I'm recording outside in the sun and my phone's at, what is it at, like 11%, 12%. So yeah, it ended up dying on me. But what I was saying was, yeah, if you could please pray for me that I would go into the exam again with a peace of mind, and that I would have a confidence about doing it. And yeah, because it's, you know, when I went into it, it was very stressful. So yeah, that I would have peace of mind. And but yeah, like I was saying, I'm not going to ask you to pray that I would that I would study for it, because I think that's stupid, you know, like, oh, please pray that I would study for my exam. I'm just going to study for my exam as I should. But yeah, if you could please just pray that I would, from all the studying that I'm going to be doing, that I would actually retain the knowledge, you know, that it would actually stay in my mind, that I'd be able to bring it forward when I'm posed a question that has to do with whatever it is that I've studied, right? Yeah, that'd be great. And really, I just remember that I went into it with the mentality of, if I fail, I fail, and if I pass, I pass, you know. And if I pass, I got my Red Seal, and if I fail, well, I have to pay another $150 to do it again, but I'll just do it again, right? And that's the thing. I was thinking, what I had mentioned when the video cut out, yeah, because the video cut out, so this bit wasn't got, but yeah, I'd just like to say, don't be afraid to fail, you know? The people that are afraid to fail, they don't succeed. They never succeed. I don't think that they are capable of success, the people that are afraid of failure. For example, if you take entrepreneurs, right? Look at the amount of risk that they take. Every day, these guys are taking risk, and it's like, yes, they do experience failures, but even though they experience failure, they experience a lot of success. Like, how does a billionaire become a billionaire? You know? Ask that guy how many times he failed. You know? They fail a lot. I mean, just from like researching and watching things, you know, like all these people, like they've made many failures. So I would just like to leave you with, don't be afraid to fail, because if you do fail, it's an opportunity for growth, and you know, from that you get humbled from it, right? And from that humility is as you grow in humility. So it really is just an excellent opportunity to grow as a human being. Failure. Yeah, and you know, I just experienced it twice today, so I just got humbled. So, you know, just got to be positive about it and just look back. Next time I won't record with my phone at 20%. You know, I'll charge it before I actually make a video. So I've learned that mistake. And I think it really affected the fact that I was recording in the sun. So I won't be doing that again. At least not with 20%. Not with 20% battery, you know? Anyways, yeah. I hope that God blesses you. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video. And yeah, see you in the next one.